everybody, my name is Rolo and today we're reading some more Reddit stories. So if that's your cup of tea, please do like and subscribe, and let's get into today's first story. Today's first story comes from a throw account with the title, My 23 female exes 25 male, mum 40s female shared an on this day memory of my ex, his brother and myself on Facebook. His new girlfriend, 20s female, blew upon me. I'll keep this short. My ex, Ross, and I broke up over a year ago now. We started growing apart and wanted different things out of life. We have kept things civil, kept each other on social media, but we don't talk, unless we see each other in public. I have decided to stay single until I finish my masters, but he now has a new girlfriend, Crystal. I was very close with Ross's family. I still have them all on Facebook, but we don't talk unless it's to wish each other a Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday, etc. Only a handful of times a year out of respect for Ross. They do like my posts, especially his mother. I asked Ross if he would rather I unfriend them, but he says he's cool with it and not to worry. The other day, I received a notification from Ross's mum. She shared a memory with me in it. It was of myself, Ross, and his younger brother when we were on vacation 3 years ago. His mum wrote, "Missed the beach. Can't wait for summer." I thought it was a little weird and awkward to say the least, but I didn't say anything. A few hours later, I received a Facebook message from Crystal saying, "OP, I don't know why you feel the need to still keep tabs on Ross's family, but you need to back off. Accept the fact that he's my boyfriend and please remove yourself as his friend as well as the rest of the families. I have replaced you and you serve no purpose to be in their lives anymore. Grow up and get over yourself." I haven't even responded, but I am so confused. I have met Crystal once when I bumped into them grocery shopping. Ross introduced us and we exchanged pleasantries. She seemed really kind. What do I say? Do I say anything to Ross or his mother? Talk to Crystal herself? I didn't even share the post. I'm so confused. Although it's sad, I do think it's time for OP to start just distancing from Ross's family. I mean, who knows what could happen in the future? Other girlfriends could be insecure. This could cause more problems. And it doesn't sound like OP and Ross are actually close anymore. So there's really no need for her to keep in touch with his family at this point. As for the message, don't do anything. Why would you respond to that? She's being so aggressive. Just read it and then block her. Easy. Over with. That's my opinion. Let's read the comments. Mer Eep says, "I'd just click it so it gets marked as read and not reply. I'd bet my house, dog, and close family that she's watching the message to make sure OP reads it." To which OP says, "I read it over a day ago, so I'm sure she's checked it by now. Also had a post that showed up on my newsfeed. She tagged Ross in a picture with the caption, 'Don't know what I would do without this amazing man in my life. Love you to the moon and back, babe. Us against the world. XO.' For lack of a better term, I can't even deal." Chaos Collected says, "Screenshot and send to your ex and let him handle it." OP replies, "I will probably do this tonight. I won't add anything malicious or accusatory, but I don't think I owe her anything. If Ross agrees, I'll oblige, but I'm not giving in to her temper tantrum." Fakyol says, "Message the ex. Hi, I received this pretty aggressive message from your girlfriend, attached. I've mentioned before I don't mind removing your family if it wasn't comfortable for you. Let me know if you need me to do anything, but either way I don't want her to contact me again. Thanks." OP says, "I sent him something along these lines with a screenshot, waiting for a response." OP updates 2 days later. "I posted on Reddit a couple of days after I received the message from Crystal. After reading your comments, I agreed that I did not owe Crystal any response or action, but I did think that sending a screenshot to Ross would be the best idea. If he had a problem with me being friends with him or keeping in touch with his family on social media, I would have no problem deleting them. To me, that should come from him, not her." So later that night, I sent Ross a screenshot of the message Crystal sent me and I added, "Hey Ross, I received this message from Crystal a few days ago. Not sure what this is about, but if you have any issues with me being friends with you and or your family on Facebook, just let me know and I will respect that. Thanks. I saw that he read the message a couple of hours later. He didn't respond that night, but I got a message from him late the next morning. He said, "OP, thanks for sending me that screenshot. I had no idea that Crystal messaged you and I want to apologize for her behavior. She was completely out of line in sending you that. I spoke with her yesterday after I saw your message and she got pretty defensive. She told me that she saw my mum still has pictures of you in one of our photo albums, and when she saw that my mum shared that memory of us on vacation, she got really insecure and took it out on you. She has never come to me and talked about it, but I told her that there is nothing to worry about and both you and I have moved on. This upset her even more and she accused me of cheating and said she found a sex tape of us on my laptop and threatened to show it to my mum. At this point, I just told her we are over. I think that you should just block her on Facebook because she would probably try to take it out on you. You didn't do anything wrong. Sorry for bringing you into this mess, lol, but thank you for giving me the heads up. I dodged a bullet here." So that escalated quickly. For the record, Ross and I never made a sex tape. Any not safe for work ones that we did make were deleted immediately after watching. I called him to confirm that and he assured me she didn't find anything. She was just using it as ammunition to try to get him to admit that he either 1. had a not safe for work video with me, or 2. was cheating on her with me. Not really much to say other than that. I've blocked her on all social media and haven't heard anything since. I hope she doesn't have my phone number, haha. Situations like these make me happy that I have chosen to stay single for a little while. Thanks for all your advice, Reddit. It really helped. Let's jump straight into some final comments with this one. Mr. Wire says, "Good gravy. Starts with insecurity over a Facebook post and ends with lying about a sex tape and threatening to send it to someone's mother? Even if Ross was cheating, why the hell would you do that to someone's mum?" To which OP says, "That's what I asked him when I called him yesterday. What would she gain from doing that, even if it did exist? Plus, Ross's mother walked in on us once. I'm sure she doesn't need another reminder of that unfortunate event." A deleted commenter says, "Yay, I'm very glad that Ross seemed like a very good ex-boyfriend. You don't see that as often as you should, so major props there. The only advice I have for you is to be very careful with your social media accounts right now. Hopefully Crystal doesn't know your phone number, but someone who's unfortunately this insecure won't be above making fake profiles follow you or friend you or having friends do it." To which OP responds, "I did a privacy check of my Facebook account yesterday. Crystal and I were not friends on Facebook, so I ended up changing my settings to make it a lot more difficult for people who are not Facebook friends with me to search me or view my profile. Probably the safer bet." Mrs. Grumpy Stripes says, "Am I the only one hoping these two awesome mature people will get back together?" And OP replies, "That could never happen. He wants to get married and have children. I do not. That's a deal breaker in a lot of relationships, including ours. And no matter how much we get along, we can't make that aspect work for us. Better off as friends now." I'm confused why none of the commenters mentioned that if Crystal did send the supposed video to his mum, that would class as revenge porn, which is very illegal pretty much everywhere in the world. What was she thinking would come from that? It doesn't help her situation. It doesn't do anything but hurt the mum and put a crime on her. Like, she definitely is not the brightest, and like Ross said, he dodged a huge bullet. Wow. Crystal is crazy. But let's move on to our next story and leave Crystal in the past. Our next story is a very wholesome story that comes from Goofster in the r/Milwaukee subreddit with the title, "Would anyone be up to taking 2 random Swedish guys out fishing?" So me and my buddy just booked a spontaneous trip from Stockholm, Sweden to Milwaukee. We love to fish and we would really, really love to go out fishing on Lake Michigan. We don't care if it's for perch, pike, salmon or walleye. We just want to go out on the lake. We'll gladly pay for fuel, food and brews, but we are not looking for a charter. We are in Milwaukee from 1st of August to the 8th. In the comments, Warren J18 says, DM me. I can make it happen if you guys provide the beer. To which OP says, DM sent. Cordial Koala says, so curious what has prompted this spontaneous adventure to our first city. To which OP replies, I wish I could say we threw a dart on a map or something cool, but we just looked for the best flights from Stockholm, and it was Chicago. Neither of us wanted to stay in Chicago, so we decided on Milwaukee, also because of the beer history. How can you not? Tallboy Plank says, I can't offer fishing, but I might be able to take you sailing on the 1st. OP says, we would absolutely love that, but we won't be in Milwaukee before 7 PM on the 1st. I'm guessing that's too late for you. Any other dates that work for you? Thank you so much for offering. American hospitality at its absolute best. Global Armadillo 417 says, Swede from Stockholm living in Milwaukee here. You made the right choice. To which OP says, we'd love to buy you a beer when we are in town. If you have any Swedish cravings you need fulfilled, don't hesitate to ask. We'll bring you all the Karl's caviar, Djungelvrål, and Pucko you need. Little Screech Owl says, this may be the most wholesome exchange on Reddit to ever exist. To which OP responds, I second that. I'm so touched. OP gave a mini update in the comments the next day. We are so overwhelmed by the responses. Thank you guys so much. I've never experienced anything like this. Around 4 days later, OP comments on another post about drivers in Milwaukee. Flew in from Sweden yesterday and drove from Chicago to Milwaukee. I thought Miami drivers were bad, but boy was I wrong. Most butt-clenching drive of my life. And then OP gives the final update, 12 days from the original post, with the title, 2 random Swedes are back home. Thank you, Milwaukee. So we are back home, jet-lagged and happy. Since you guys truly opened your subreddit heart and city for us, we thought we'd give you some details about what actually happened to us. Did we get out on the water? Did we enjoy Milwaukee? We flew into Chicago and got to our rental car, which happened to be a brand new Jeep Wrangler. We've driven quite a lot in the States, but holy cow, are you Wisconsinites in a hurry? Driving 10 miles per hour over the speed limit, and we were still always the slowest car on the road. Some butt-clenching moments we had. We had booked an Airbnb and stayed in the Malt House, a really cool apartment house full of Pabst history and Central Waters Brewery, and on tap right outside the door. It was dirt cheap for some reason. We paid about $90 per night for a 2-bedroom apartment with all the bells and whistles. We had a few beers and our first cheese curds, which we loved, and took an early night. The next day, we walked around Milwaukee and happened to stroll right by BMO Pavilion as the Red Clay Strays did their sound check. It sounded awesome, so when we got back to the Airbnb, we listened some more as we'd never heard of them before. Took us one song to decide to book tickets. At the concert, we met so many wonderful people. In the row behind us were 4 of the most fantastic people we've ever met. It took them all about 10 seconds to proclaim, we are going to take care of you guys. And boy did they. They took us to the public market Tiki Hut after the concert, and the evening ended with dancing in the Wicked Hop until it closed. To top off an amazing night, they invited us to Kenosha to go out on the lake with their boat. We accepted without hesitation. Sometime later, we headed out to the Kenosha and we had an amazing blast on the waters. Live music, wake surfing, swimming. A day I will remember and cherish till the day I die. We didn't fish, but we couldn't have cared less. This was way better than fishing. This is pretty much how our trip carried on. Minus some days with runny noses and a couple of days with shopping. Everyone thought we were crazy for coming to Milwaukee on vacation, but we disagree. We love your city. Everyone was so warm and welcoming. Incredible hospitality. We have only positive things to say about our trip. We have made lifelong friends. You should feel proud. Hoping you guys are okay even though you've had the rainfall of a century. Thank you, Milwaukee. In the comments, Pink Poodle says, thanks for the update. It sounds like you had a blast. You left right on time because lots of planes and trains are now halted or diverted and roads are flooded. Of course, we need to know when you are coming back and bringing your skeptical friends to Milwaukee to show them how wrong they were about Milwaukee. OP says, all the skeptical ones were from Milwaukee. with a laughing emoji. Whole aggravating 5675 says, "You skipped IKEA?" Opie responds, "Of course not. We had our daily meatballs and lingonberries at IKEA." And the commenter from the first post, Warren NJ18, responded to this comment explaining why they couldn't meet Opie in the end. "I unfortunately had to go out of town for work, so it didn't end up working out on my end." I think that this post just shows the diversity of Reddit. It's either an absolute cesspool or it's the most wholesome place that you could ever dream to be. But I'm so glad that these guys had an amazing trip and, you know, they loved Milwaukee, they found a new band that they like. They made friends as well. That's an all-around perfect trip. I wish I could have a trip like that. But I will apologize as well here for my pronunciation. American, Swedish, and British, it just doesn't work for me. I'm so sorry. I did try to find the pronunciation, but I couldn't do it. I'm so sorry, guys. Please teach me how to say them in the comments, and I'll improve next time. Anyway, that's where I'm going to leave it today. I hope that you enjoyed the stories, especially that last one. Leave your thoughts about the stories down in the comments, and I will see you next time. Bye bye!